All right, tell me when you're ready, Kevin.
All set. Thank you for your patience.
Okay, great. Okay, I'd like to call today's Planning Commission meeting to order. If I could, Annette, if you could call the order.
Do you want to read the COVID, Patrick?
Yeah, I'll jump in there. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Cuyahoga County Administration Building is closed for public meetings at this time. As a result, this meeting is being conducted remotely in accordance with State of Ohio House Bill 197. Interested persons may access the meeting via live stream by using a link found available on countyplanning.us.
Thank you. I'll take the roll call then. Mayor Bopes?
Here.
Mayor Brennan?
Here.
Councilperson Brown?
Here.
Mayor Byrne? Mr. Collier?
Here. Here.
Mr. Dever?
Here.
Mayor DeSicco?
Here.
Mayor Gamella?
Here.
Mayor Prosick?
Here.
Mayor Sellers? Councilperson Simon?
Here.
You have a quorum.
Okay, did you get Councilperson Chantel Brown also?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Sure, and then Mayor Byrne, we didn't, I think you were in mute also, but I just
Okay,
wanted.
I did not get Mayor Byrne. Thank you.
I see him, I see his name up there, but Mayor, you're on mute, just so you're aware, okay? Okay, all right, we'll move along here. The first item on our agenda is the approval of the minutes of June 11, 2020. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved. Mayor Gamella.
Second. Oops.
Okay. Moved by Mayor Gamella, seconded by Councilwoman Simon. Is there any questions or comments about the agenda or the meeting minutes from June 11th?
So Mayor Bopes just seconded the motion, just for clarification. It wasn't Simon.
Okay. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Okay, if there's no comments or questions about the motion, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Those not approving? That motion carries. Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes of the June 24th, 2020 meeting. Can I have a motion to approve those minutes?
Motion to approve, Mayor Brennan.
Simon, second.
Brennan and Simon. Any questions or
Yes.
comments on the motion? If none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Those against? The motion passes. Thank you. Item number 4 is old business. Is there any old business that we need to cover?
No.
I don't see anything within our agenda. Okay. Item number 5 is new business. Resolution number 2000-813-A. If we could read that into the minutes.
Yes. A resolution number 200813A is extending the original agreement term and expanding the scope of services to allow county planning to utilize the services of a consultant, Ms. Megan Cheney, AICP, in supplementing other planning and technical services.
Great, thanks. Patrick, can you speak on this item?
Sure. The request today is requesting approval of the contract extension and expanded scope of services for Megan Cheney for consulting services in Olmsted Township and other work as necessary. Just a little bit of history. An original agreement was signed on August 1st, 2016 for a 1-year term in an amount not to exceed $24,000. That agreement has been amended annually to add funds and extend the term. Past work for Ms. Cheney has solely been related to administering subdivision regulations in Olmsted Township. This Fourth Amendment to the original agreement extends the term of the contract for an additional year to September 30th, 2021, and expands the scope of work to areas outside of Olmsted Township. So this would include other areas and other projects that we are currently working on. This is just an extension of the term of the contract and expansion of scope, so there is no financial impact to county planning as a result of this action. In terms of next steps, we'd be asking County Planning Commission to review and consider approval, and the interim executive director will execute the agreement to work on the expanded scope of services. So we are recommending approval of the contract extension.
Okay, thank you. Is there any comments or questions from members of the board?
Hi, this
Councilwoman Simon?
is Woman Brown. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Councilwoman.
Go ahead,
I just
Councilwoman.
had a question. It's Councilwoman Simon about just a question about future employment as an employee versus having the contract for services for Olmsted and the expansion of work.
Sure. Megan Cheney was originally a full-time employee with the County Planning Commission and left for a number of years. She was hired back due to her relationship with Olmsted Township and to assist us with zoning and subdivision work, which she's been doing. It certainly would be of interest to us if she feels comfortable coming back either part-time or on a full-time basis in the future. As part of our budget hearings, or budget reductions, we are not presently hiring any additional staff, but certainly that's a possibility and something that we would be interested in discussing in the future.
Mr. Chair, if I can follow up, would it be possible to find out if there is an interest of Ms. Cheney to come back as a part-time or full-time employee, and then we can consider the budget issues, you know, if there's a desire for her to come back? Can we find that out?
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. There's enough work going on in the township, and her expertise and experience out has been proved invaluable. I know, working with the public works staff. She's very, she just knows her stuff out there. So I don't have a problem if it fits within the budget. I think she prefers this arrangement right now, and maybe Patrick, can you speak a little bit further about that? Would you be interested in a full-time?
We did speak about this. She is interested. I think given current schooling situations, I'm not sure whether a part-time or full-time work makes sense during this pandemic, but that's certainly a conversation that we could continue to have.
Thank you.
Good point.
Councilwoman Brown, did you have a question?
Thank you, Director Dever. The question was kind of similar, just around the extension of the contract. Are we saying it won't have an impact on the budget? Is that what I understood?
That is correct. Over the past 4 agreements, we have added funds to the contract each time, and they have not been fully spent. So we are simply extending the agreement, but not adding any additional funds.
Okay, thank you for the clarification. All right, thank you. Thank you, Director Dever.
Sure. Is there any other further comments or questions on this? I'll make a motion to approve this resolution. Do I have a second?
Second, Brown.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Yes, I have something. Extending on what, this is Mayor Brennan, extending on what Council Member Simon said, entering into this extension doesn't necessarily foreclose our exploring further the possibility of finding a way to explore finding whether we can add Ms. Cheney back as a part-time or full-time employee if we can find a way to do it and if she's amenable to doing it. Is that right?
That's correct. There are a number of steps we might have to take as we're going through our ongoing review with the Personnel Review Commission, as well as budgetary discussions, but certainly we can revisit a part-time or full-time position with Megan in the future.
Okay. It seemed like extending was a good idea regardless, but I don't know that it's an either or. So I think I would support extending and continuing to see if there's a way, if it's appropriate.
Yeah, I believe it gives us that flexibility. So unless Law has, I know Melissa, I think you're on the call also.
I was just going to check that. I was looking to the original agreement to look at some of the termination terms, but I'll take a deeper look into that and get an answer to you all as soon as I can. But I don't think that there's any reason why, if there was an opportunity and an ability to hire her back part-time or full-time permanently, that we would be able to terminate the actual contract agreement.
Okay.
But I will get a definite answer to everybody on that soon.
If I could ask a question, Chairman Dever.
Yes, Mayor Bob.
Thank you. I was looking for the button to raise my hand and I couldn't find it quickly enough. There are some very detailed definitions of an independent contractor. That's been reviewed in the context of this contract, I'm assuming, so that we're not, an independent contractor has to work independently of their own direction. There are a number of things. We run into this all the time. Is someone an independent contractor, or should they be classified as a part-time or full-time employee? So I would just suggest that as we traverse this with her, as well as moving forward, we want to make sure that under the definitions of independent contractor, she meets those definition requirements, especially with the expanded work or scope.
I agree. Melissa, do you have anything you'd like to add to that? Or anything?
I do not. I think because of the history with this individual and the contract for services going back some time, it's preceded my tenure with the Planning Commission. But I think it's worth looking back maybe into the history to see whether or not those concerns that Mayor Bopst addressed have been reviewed thoroughly. I do understand the potential issues with classifying an independent contractors and the direction and control issues. So I believe it's certainly worth taking a look at. But as to if I could go back to the question about whether or not we could, if we hired her back full-time or part-time, we would have to continue the contract. And in the original contract, it's in the page 24 of the PDF, there's a termination provision. And I think that would speak specifically to the situation that if we were to do that, the contract would be terminated.
Okay, I appreciate that. So maybe by the next time we come together as a group, we can have these answers to these questions, and then maybe we'll get clarification if she's interested in coming back in a part-time or full-time status. So if there's no objections to that, then I'll move the item along. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Can I interrupt you?
Oh,
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
Yes,
Go ahead.
Mayor Sellers has just joined the group.
Okay,
Welcome. Sorry for my delay.
No issues. Thank you, Mayor, for joining. And I just received a text from Mayor Byrne. Also, he's a brand new computer. He's having some technical difficulties, so he's working through that. But he is with us on the call. So we have full quorum here. So with that being said, on the motion, seconded, and all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? That motion carries. So thank you so much. And we'll move on to the next item, Resolution 2001-813-B. Annette?
Yes, this is Resolution 200813B, approving the program cost agreement with the Ohio Public Works Commission, acting on behalf of the District 1 Natural Resources Assistance Council for program year 2021.
Thank you. Patrick, do you want to speak on this item, or I know Allison's here also?
Yes, Allison is going to be speaking on this item, and we're requesting approval of that agreement. Allison?
Allison?
You are muted.
I know. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, so the Clean Ohio Green Space Conservation Program provides funding for projects that preserve open space, sensitive ecological areas, and stream corridors in Cuyahoga County. And this is run through the Ohio Public Works Commission. Since 2015, the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission has administered the program on behalf of OPWC and the District 1 NREC for $15,000 that comes out of the allocation for the program year. Prior to that, since 2000, we've been running the program on our own costs. So the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission will receive an allocation of $3.3 million for the program year 2021 to award to projects. The OPWC has signed a program cost agreement, and the NRAC approved Exhibit 1, which is the service agreement between County Planning Commission and the District 1 Natural Resources Assistance Council at their meeting on July 29th. So work includes coordination of meetings, development of the application materials, project evaluation and selection, as well as assistance to the applicants, and the contract is for 1 year. And it would be dates back to the beginning of July 2020 and through July 30th, 2021. That should be June 30th, 2021, actually.
Thanks, Allison.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome.
Okay, does anyone have any questions on that presentation of the resolution? Seeing none, I'm going to make a motion to approve the resolution. Can I have a second, please?
I'll second.
I'm sorry. You know what, Mike, can I add in one thing here before you do this? There was, I'm sorry, I apologize. There was a signed contract that was sent to the Planning Commission from OPWC. The only change in it, it had a position, or I'm sorry, an agreement control number in the top right-hand corner of the page that is different from the original one that was sent out in the packets. That's the only change to it. If we make a motion to amend the resolution with the attached agreement with the agreement control number, I think we would need to do that before we make a motion to approve.
Okay, it seems like that's just an incidental change some type, but I'm willing to do that.
Okay, yeah, it seems like it's for OPWC's record keeping. It has nothing to do with our record keeping in any way.
Okay, so I'll adjust my, or change my motion to accept this resolution with that change that was just noted of the control number. And it sounded like Mike Prusek had seconded that. Is that correct?
I said that was me. That was Mayor Sellers.
Thank you, Mayor. Appreciate that. Okay, is there any other questions or comments on that? If none, I'll make all those in favor say aye.
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 Those against? Motion carries. Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to our interim executive director's report. Patrick?
Thank you. There are three things that I'm going to cover today. First, Our Communities, the 2020 data book, the 2020 community planning grant update, and then some other minor updates within the office. First, Our Communities 2020 data book. This was released about a week and a half ago. It's the first in an annual series of data books that are being produced by the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission to give insights into the communities that comprise our county. The purpose of the data book was to assist communities in understanding their metrics, to provide recent data in an accessible format, rather than asking people to download their own census data, and to be updated regularly, in this case on an annual basis. The data book covers 36 metrics across 5 topic areas. Those are demographics, economy, housing, land use, and transportation. And that data is available in 6 geographies, which are shown on that map to the right. They include the state of Ohio, the Cleveland metro area, Cuyahoga County, the Cuyahoga County communities, and then by inner ring suburbs and outer ring suburbs. The idea behind this is that we tend to gather this data each year for our master plan program and only provide it to the individual communities that we do master plans for. And we want to provide that that information to all of our communities. This is what the interior of the pages look like. I'll just run you through a couple interesting ones, and I encourage you to flip through this to see if it is beneficial to you. This, for instance, is population density. For each of our pages, we include on the left a map of all of the communities in Cuyahoga County by density. In this case, darker areas are more heavily or denser communities. On the right is all of the communities in chart format showing areas by population density. So Lakewood and University Heights being the most dense, down to Cuyahoga Heights and Hunting Valley, the least dense areas. We did this again across 36 metrics. Another example is job change. This map showcases by census tract increases in jobs and decreases in jobs between 2012 and 2017. Dark blue areas are places where jobs have increased. You can see in downtown Cleveland and along the health tech corridor, as well as in Independence, and then various areas around the county. You can also see that by community on the right page as well. Just a last example, since it's slightly different, is by housing type. In this chart, yellow areas are areas of single family homes. Pink areas are areas of small doubles or small apartment buildings. Gray are medium apartment buildings, and green are large apartment buildings. And this really helps to show, for instance, the types of housing that make up each community and where that's located. For instance, seeing single family homes generally concentrated in the outer ring communities, 2 to 4 family units concentrated in the inner ring and within the city of Cleveland. So you can start to see where that housing diversity is located. That's just 3 quick examples of the 36 metrics that are included in that data book. It's available for download on our website at countyplanning.us/databook. There is an online version that is forthcoming. Dan Meany in our office is building an online system that will allow you to click through that data virtually, but for now it lives as a PDF on our website. A special thanks to everybody who has assisted in this, both within the office and our outside partners, including county communications and other county departments that provided data, as well as Kevin, Dan, and Susan in our office who assisted in putting that book together. Continuing on with the 2020 Community Planning Grant. Sure.
If we could just hold on that a second. That's a great document. I appreciate you guys, the hard work that you've done to get that out to the communities. I think it's really a great reference guide for people to utilize. I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments on the document.
I do. I mean, I agree. It's great and very helpful. It took a lot of work. I appreciate it. And how is the community getting informed about it? By email, the mayor's getting informed? How are you getting it out there?
Absolutely. An email did go out to all of the mayors, city managers, administrators throughout the county. We've also been working with county communications. They put out a press release via the county executive. As well, we did a week-long Twitter announcement that was retweeted by Cuyahoga County and provided some really good interactions on social media. And then we do have it on our website, right on the front page. If you go to countyplanning.us, it's right there under data books. We are anticipating that we will update this every year, and we've done work to make sure that this is fairly easily automated so that we can have a 2021 data book that would provide updated data. We would also like to do further data books that include regional comparisons to understand how the Cleveland region might be stacking up against places like Columbus, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, and Detroit.
I appreciate that. If I can, Mr. Chair, I just wanted to say that County Council perhaps would have been interested in participating in a press release and being informed about this. We have our own districts and probably equally would have been, I think I can speak for me, I would have liked to be involved with that.
Yeah,
Certainly.
Patrick, what was the time frame? July 30th, it was completed, right?
Correct.
I did not see the communications from the county communications team that went out. So, you know, I can make sure, we can probably go up and make sure that there is, that they work with each of the council districts, Councilwoman Simon, if there's additional places to get it out. All right, I'll make that commitment that I'll get involved in that.
Yeah, I would appreciate at least something, an email, so I can get it out to my district. Thank you.
Yeah, if I may, I also didn't see the original email. I did see the book a couple days ago as somebody else brought it to my attention, but I was, if there was a county email, I missed it too.
That rollout continues. We are continuing to work with county communications. They just sent out, by my understanding, an email to all of the folks who are signed up on the county's website, or that email is going out shortly. So this continues to be rolled out, and we wanted to make sure that we presented it to you today so that you could share it with others that you might know of. And we're trying to get it out in as many ways as possible. So in any ways that you can share, we would be deeply appreciative of that.
Very good. It wasn't meant as a criticism either. I want to make sure that people see the good work that was done here.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Chairman Dever?
Yes, Councilwoman, or Mayor, I'm sorry.
That's okay. I was a councilman and I love that role too. So I was aware of it. I did see it. I think it may have come from Michelle Pomerantz, but in any event, I did share it yesterday with the West Shore mayors at our COG. And I think what's really important, we have seen it recently in our master plan that was completed by the Planning Commission. So now to see it for the entire region and in that context, plus what I think is really helpful and appreciate so much is that these were a lot of external sources where all these data points were put together, and to know those sources and to be able to go back then to those sources when there's a decision-making process going on. Very, very helpful. I think when it takes the next step to be interactive, could be very helpful. And at the same time, we have NOACA's GIS portal, and I see some good layers there, good information. So we thank you so much. I know the mayors were very excited to hear that the data book had been released. So thank you.
Okay, is there any other comments? Okay, Patrick, if you could continue.
Sure thing. Second item to bring up was the 2020 planning grant update. The 2020 community planning grant applications were due at 4 p.m. on June 30th, 2020. We received 15 eligible applications from across the county. In total, $150,000 was made available from county council and the county executive. An additional $100,000 was made available through in-kind work from county planning. As a result of work internally from the planning staff and the managers at the County Planning Commission, we identified 4 successful applications as part of this round. It was an incredibly competitive round with some very good applications, and these were the ones that rose to the top this year. Those 4 are the Brook Park Road Corridor Plan, and this is looking at Brook Park Road through 3 communities, the cities of Brooklyn and Parma, and the old Brooklyn CDC and the city of Cleveland, looking at how all of those communities can work and think regionally about how that corridor moves and the types of development that can take place there. The Garfield Heights Master Plan is actually the only master plan in this round of planning grants. In the past, this has only been a community master plan grant program. We expanded the scope, and this year, the Garfield Heights Master Plan is the only one that is actually a traditional master plan. The other 2, the Maple Heights zoning map and Broadway corridor zoning update. Maple Heights did a master plan with our office a number of years ago. One of the clear findings of that was that their zoning map was out of date and that their Broadway corridor overlay wasn't quite working for them. So this project will update both of those. And finally, Rocky River Development Code Phase 3. Rocky River hired the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission to complete phases 1 and 2 of the city's development code update. Phase 3, a later phase, was to be a separate contract. The city of Rocky River applied and was granted a partial award, $20,000 as an award, with $17,000 coming from the city of Rocky River to complete that development code update. In terms of next steps, scoping and contracts, as well as MOUs are forthcoming. So we're going to be working with our communities to finalize those. We will be bringing Rocky River in front of the Planning Commission to approve that contract as well. I'll pause there and see if anyone has any questions about that planning grant program.
Okay, do any members have comments or questions? Okay. All right, if there's no comments or questions, Patrick, you can move along.
Just a couple other quick updates. The subdivision regulations, which were approved by this body a couple months ago, were approved by Cuyahoga County Council Public Works Committee on Wednesday, July 29th. They are going before the Administrative Rules Board of the county on Tuesday, August 18th. And they will continue to go before County Council for a third and hopefully final reading on Tuesday, September 15th, which will finalize those subdivision regulations and codify them. So we're very excited to see that continue to move forward. The wetland mitigation program, which was discussed at the previous board meeting, has continued. Just briefly, research and outreach has gone on. Specifically, we held a meeting with the Nature Conservancy, Western Reserve Land Conservancy, West Creek Conservancy, and the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District to try and align how our mapping may be able to assist folks. We're continuing to work on that, and we will be returning with some updates. Our technical teams continue to meet on wetland mapping. In terms of remote operations for the County Planning Commission, with the county administration building reopening, county planning offices have also reopened. However, we are on a very limited staff presence. We have continued to host all of our public steering committee and project team meetings virtually, and have been very impressed by the work that staff has done to come up with innovative ways of getting public engagement in this environment. County planning has also been contacted by the city of Parma to update their zoning as it relates to garages. This would be a small research request to describe appropriate garage standards, including size and height, to update their zoning code. And the state and U.S. bike route system is coming to Ohio. ODOT is undertaking an effort to establish a state and U.S. bike route system that would include Cuyahoga County. We have worked with ODOT to align official routes with some of the current trail planning that we have done within our office, especially the Cuyahoga Greenways plan. And communities with a route running through them are being asked to pass a resolution of support that would also allow them to get signs for those official routes running throughout the county. So folks may be getting in contact and may be contacted by ODOT if one of those trails does run through their community. And finally, last but not least, Census 2020 is continuing. I would be remiss not to bring this up. We only have a couple months left before the census closes. Self-response is still open and available, and we highly encourage all of the residents in Cuyahoga County to take that. Field operations are just now getting underway. These would have been done earlier, but as a result of COVID-19, they are just starting. Both the self-response and field time has been reduced. It was originally supposed to go through the end of October and is now reduced to the end of September. So it really becomes even more critical to get folks to take that census as soon as possible. Advertising and outreach are underway. We are assisting. This map is on our website. At this point, 64.1% of the county has taken the census. So we continue to lag some of our peer communities, and we would encourage everyone to take that census.
Okay.
Chairman, that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Appreciate it. Listen, on one item specifically, I think, I believe Annette's still with us, in regards to the DOPWIC application process. Is there any quick updates maybe you can offer to the board right now on what's happening there and when that process is going to start?
No, that would be Allison.
I'm sorry, Allison, that's correct. Did she already?
And I do not know if she's still on the meeting.
I do not see Allison on here still. We do anticipate bringing the DOPWIC contract before the board at the next meeting in September. So that process is beginning, and we will be bringing that before this board to approve our contract with DOPWIC. The DOPWIC board is also meeting, I believe, August 29th to begin that process as well. I can confirm that and follow up, however. Jim, it looks like Jim might have some update on that.
Allison is right next door here and said that she'll be able to rejoin shortly here.
Okay, I think the update that Patrick gave, that's fine. I don't want to belabor it. Is there anything further you'd like to add, Patrick?
We do anticipate our next meeting will take place on September 10th. We have a number of contracts that we will need to approve. That includes the DOPWIC contract as anticipated, as well as a contract for the Lakefront Public Access Plan, which is through Public Works and the Cuyahoga County Planning Commission. We did select a vendor and are working on a scope of work and a contract to bring that before this board for approval. That will be a Lakefront Public Access Plan across the Cuyahoga County lakefront, attempting to get not only access but connections to those parks and green spaces along the lake.
Okay, thank you, Patrick. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Okay, if we don't, the next item is comments from the public. I don't know, Annette, did anybody submit a comment?
I did not see any comments.
Okay, that's great. Is there anything further for the good of the order? If nothing, then thank you, everybody, and I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
Kevin, I'll second it. It's Mayor Prosick. I just have to say that Mayor Sellers and I are mixed up physically a lot. We have been for years, but this is the first time that the voice recognition came into play. But, thank you for straightening that out, Brad.
My pleasure, Mayor.
Okay.
That was good.
All those in favor to adjourn, say aye.
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 Thank you, everybody. Have a great remainder of August. Take care.
You
You too.
Take care.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you.